Hey, it's CVV, Chris Van Vliet, and you have to check out the fastest rising podcast in all of professional wrestling. I'm talking about the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. If you're looking for pay-per-view predictions, if you're looking for pay-per-view reviews, if you're looking for interviews, check out the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. Crash and Burn!
Hey yo, what's up? Welcome to the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast, where tonight we'll be reviewing WWE's Great American Bash from the year 2004. Took place at the venue, the Norfolk Scope in Norfolk, Virginia. That's how you freaking pronounce it. And the reason why we chose the Great American Bash, because we're keeping the 4th of July celebrations going. So before we get to our review here on the Fastest Rising Podcast and all of professional wrestling, bringing in the man who requested the show, Wyatt.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone had a great 4th of July holiday. You know, I'm just fucking crazy. I've had a long week going to work, helping out with summer camp, and especially going to wrestling practice. But that doesn't stop me coming on Crash and Burn Podcast. And as of this, you know, I got here. I would recommend you check it out on Peacock. And also, fun fact, I actually had an event here that someone years ago. So I didn't attend that show, but someone was nice enough to give it to me. A good friend of my mom gave it to me because it was, you know, a big deal. So, you know what? I thought it was a very good card, very good show. And Jason, let's get everyone to sit back and relax. Hope everyone's like nice, like, because, you know, it's summertime, and, you know, let's listen and enjoy this review of the 2004 edition of the Great American Bash. Great pay-per-view back in 1999.
Great American Bash hype. Woo! Alright. First match. John Cena defeated Booker T, Renee Dupree, and Rob Van Dam, RVD, by pinfall. It was a fatal 4-way elimination match for the WWE US Championship. Go ahead, Wyatt.
Yeah, I thought the match, I thought it was pretty cool match. You know, you have John Cena, Booker T, underrated star Renee Dupree. He's actually one of the youngest WWE stars who's ever made in the ring. It's like very, very rare. I do have, of course, my man RVD. And, you know, you had RVD first eliminated in that. RVD eliminated by John Cena, and, you know, RVD delivered a 5-star, and John Cena roll up and gave him a pin, and then you had pre-eliminated by Booker T. Eliminated by Booker T, and then John Cena hits the AA and gets Booker T eliminated. You know, John Cena was on a roll with the championship at the big show WrestleMania. Cena was doing a good job getting the crowd hyped. John Cena, like, time Dr. Thugonomics, you know, back in the day. But honestly, I thought John Cena had, that was probably the best US title run night. Honestly, that's fine, but I'm actually glad that I John
Alright, yeah. I thought this was a good start to the show. I enjoyed the match, a great back and forth action, and congrats to John Cena. John Cena is one of the best. Now, up next, Luther Reigns defeated Charlie Haas with pinfall. It was a singles match. Wyatt?
You know, John Cena was just walking backstage, and, you know, you had Nick Jackie, Forgettable Man, and Charlie Haas backstage. John Cena was talking to them, hitting the ball, and then Kurt Angle comes by in the wheelchair. Kurt Angle at the time on SmackDown. Like, whoa, I'm Tony Khan. You've got a match up next. Here they go down the ring, and then Angle and brings out Luther Reigns, and I think they have like a connection as like his mentor or whatever. And, you know, I think there was a little back and forth action there. I kind of thought Charlie Haas would have picked up that win. You know, Luther Reigns has more potential than him. I think Luther Reigns had a lot of potential. Him and Kurt Angle worked pretty okay together, and Charlie Haas was. I like Charlie Haas, and Luther Reigns picked up the win, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Same here. I agree. It was a great match. I enjoyed the match and great storytelling too. A great potential in these two talent. Up next, the Master, the 619, Rey Mysterio defeated Eddie Guerrero by pinfall. It was for the Cruiserweight Championship. Go.
I actually have Ray's autograph on that chair, but I don't think y'all can see it. But yeah, definitely decent of a match. I really thought it was pretty good. Them two have had some good matches together. Especially having that I Quit match on SmackDown. Kenzo made great split, and Rey Mysterio was like in the cruiserweight division at the time, and that sort of shit. And, Ray's had some good matches with the Guerrero bloodline, with Eddie, of course, and Chavo. And, yeah, I thought the match lasted like almost 20 minutes, but I really thought the match went pretty well. There was a lot of back and forth action, but I feel like Ray picking up the win was the right choice. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say for that match.
Same here. Congrats to Rey Mysterio. These two put on one hell of a match. And next one, Kenzo Suzuki defeated Billy Gunn. Go ahead.
Yeah, Kenzo Suzuki. That is actually one of the rising. He was one of the newcomers of SmackDown at the time. And you had badass Billy Gunn. Great veteran. Great. One of the most mid-carders in my opinion. But Kenzo Suzuki was just rising to SmackDown. But his manager, wearing those, I learned this in an episode of Alvin and the Chipmunks and one of the old cartoons and stuff. I learned those women who wear those robes with those white powder or face painting on, those are actually men who wear that shit. I learned that in an Alvin and the Chipmunks episode, if y'all didn't know. I actually learned those women who wear those robes, those powders, those are not women. Those are actually men.
Oh.
Yeah. And I definitely love that SmackDown promo when John Cena roasted the living shit out of Kenzo Suzuki and his manager. But you should definitely check that out. But yeah, I thought the match was very solid, very super solid. Kenzo Suzuki picked up the win and hit that, and I believe it was a dirty ending. Oh my god! But 1, 2, 3, it was.
Yeah, I mean, it was an okay match. I didn't really care for it that much, but it was still an okay match, solid match. Next one, Sable defeated Tory Wilson. Go.
Yes, two of the hottest chicks in the Ruthless Aggression era. Sable was the shit, Tory Wilson was the shit, but they've had some pretty decent matches together. In strip competitions or But listen, if y'all don't like it, I'm gonna tell you, at least kind of brought the rating up. But Sable and Tory Wilson enjoyed doing this shit because that was what they were getting paid to fucking do. So don't think that they're getting forced to do that shit and try to feel like they have to be forced to do it. No, they probably had to accept for doing it, so that way they can get their fucking paycheck and go home. Because I'm gonna tell you, that's what they did for their fucking job. Them being so hot in that ring, that's what they did for their job.
Yes, that was their job. Yep.
The fans loved it.
The fans
loved it on commentary.
Yes.
And, it helped with the ratings. The ratings were
the people loved
back
it.
in those years. Because the current WWE product sucks. WWE product.
Yeah. True.
Anyways. But there is a good thing about the WWE product. There is still beautiful women in the product today.
There you go.
And Carmella's the most beautiful woman out of all of them. Because that's her.
As the ring announcer says.
Yes.
Shout out to Greg Hamilton for saying that. It's Greg Hamilton. You are cool, okay? I'll see you on September 10th at SmackDown at MSG.
Yeah, I'll see you on TV tonight.
Yes. Anyways, I'm not gonna say much because it was a solid match, and then yeah, as you said, that was their job back then.
And Troy Wilson is on the cover of the DVD.
And Tory Wilson's cool. Next match, Mordecai defeated Hardcore Holly by pinfall. This match, it was alright. It's alright. Wyatt.
I saw a little build up to that match. Mordecai beating the living shit out of the veteran Hardcore Holly backstage. And, Mordecai is also known as Kevin Thorne, the vampire looking guy, wrestled like an ECW and shit. Mordecai, I feel like the gimmick didn't last. I feel like his gimmick failed a little bit because I feel like it didn't work out so well. But, Mordecai was just this dangerous monster, looked like who came from the white snowy mountains. He had that long white hair and he had that white gear and he looked like he was going to fuck the flipping shit out of somebody. And, I thought the match was all right, just that outrageous fucking superstar. But, the guy had potential. That's a plus. Decent psychology. Yeah. But not too much to say. But, Hardcore Holly's one of the best stars, in the modern era and the Attitude Era and whatnot. He's also known as Bob Holly. But, and fun fact, Hardcore Holly actually became a special guest trainer at my wrestling school.
Cool. Anyways, I just said this match was alright. Not too much build up, but it's still alright. This next match I enjoyed, the Texas Bull Rope match for the WWE title. JBL defeated Eddie Guerrero. Why? Go ahead.
I really enjoyed the match. They both went back and forth, but I'm actually, this was the rise for JBL, but it was very fucked over how they ended it because people thought Eddie won, but JBL's back hit the last turnbuckle as the last tag was made. Because how the Texas rope, how the strap matches go, you have to tag all four corners, and until the referee tells them to stop, to restart. But you have to do it in the quick of nick of time. But people thought Eddie actually won that match, but he didn't because Eddie reached his hand out to the corner, but JBL's back hit first. Kurt Angle apologized, but Kurt Angle had to announce that JBL was the winner. But again, bloody match. Really told their story. They all went in the ring, outside the ring. Before the match, before the pay-per-view, before that, Eddie got disqualified, but JBL since Eddie got disqualified and was still the champion. JBL was allowed to pick the stipulation for their match. And I actually thought that was actually a great idea. But story behind this, people, I watched this on a documentary. People didn't think it was going to work. And honestly, JBL was one of the greatest heels ever in the modern era. Probably one of the top 5 best heels in the modern era. Because, JBL...
He is a great heel.
Cut a good fucking promo. He really got himself out.
He has a good attitude to be a heel character, too.
Great heel character. Everyone fucking hated the guy. He was the most hated superstar on the SmackDown roster.
If you hate him, that means he's doing his job correctly.
And he was doing his job correctly, especially that promo he cut in One Night Stand 2006. And that's all I'm going to tell you about that. But people thought, WWE didn't think it was going to work out JBL as champion ever since him and Ron Simmons broke up as the APA. People were like, is it going to work that Bradshaw is going to be champion? But you know what? It worked because JBL was doing because him doing that made the job right.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I enjoyed the match.
Y'all can come after me all you want, but I fucking love JBL and what he does for his job.
Yeah, as I said, if you hate JBL, that means he's doing his job correctly as a heel character. JBL has that attitude and charisma to be a heel character, a great one actually. Because he cuts badass promos, puts on great matches. And yeah, the match itself was great, back and forth action.
Yeah.
Anyways, the main event. The Phenom, The Undertaker, defeated the Dudley Boys in a handicap concrete grip match. Go ahead.
I really didn't see much of the build-up. I really didn't understand that match too well. You know, Paul Heyman was there. You know, Paul Bear was in that glass pod, fill him up with concrete. You know, Paul Bear was trying to wait for Undertaker to save him, and Paul Heyman was trying to fill up the concrete. If Undertaker didn't get his shit correctly, they would stop. But then Bubba Ray said this stream to Heyman saying, no, this is not how it's going to work. We're going to beat Taker first and then fill up the concrete. But that didn't work out so well. And then, you know, you had Thunder Shock into Paul Heyman. And I actually thought it was decent for a handicap match. But, you know, Undertaker did his shit. Arrived, raised hell, and left. Gave him a tombstone to D-Von. Got the match over with. And then Undertaker, and then Paul Bear was like, oh, Undertaker, I knew you would save me. And then Undertaker's like, oh, you will rest in peace.
Yes, sir.
And then he filled up the concrete, and that ended the show.
Yeah. It was a great way to end off the show. I enjoyed the matches in this and the storyline in this. So yeah, great build-up and great storyline and great match.
I guess we'll rate the pay-per-view now, right?
Yeah. So the matches were okay and pretty good, and so you know what? I'll give this like an 8.5 to 9. Because like some matches were pretty okay, but not really an honorable mention. And then the match like the Texas Bull Rope match and the main event and the first match of the card were great matches in my opinion. So yeah, other than that, I rated it an 8.5 out of 9. And thank you all for watching this episode of the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast, the fastest wrestling podcast in professional wrestling today. Hope you all enjoyed and subscribe to the Crash and Burn Podcast and the Moshcast. We see you all next time with the Fighter Fest predictions. Wyatt, end it off.
Thank you all for another great episode of Crash and Burn Wrestling.
No, how would you rate it first?
Oh, how would I rate it? I'm trying to think. I mean, I did enjoy the show, but I gotta give it an 8. You know what? Either 7 or an 8.
So yeah. All right, now go ahead with your outro.
All right, thank you all for a great episode of the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. You know, it was great to be on here again. So we will be here next week, next Friday. We'll be our Money in the Bank predictions, our Fighter Fest predictions, and stay tuned for all that. Go follow everybody on the socials. Support independent wrestling. And hopefully everybody has a safe weekend. Hope everyone's having a great summer who's watching this. And all I'm going to say is save money and live better at Walmart.
Yes, so our next recording for Crash and Burn is the AEW Fighter Fest 2021 prediction, since that's airing for the next 2 weeks on TNT, July 14th and July 21st. And our next recording for the Boschcast will be Michael Jackson's album called Bad. And yes, that is an album title. That album is actually not bad. That's just the name of it, alright? So yeah, we'll see you all then for both our shows. Keep supporting us, and thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Crash and burn!